Today, there are at least 20,000 species of bees in the world. Each one provides a use towards pollination and creating honey, as well as other products. Despite bees being around for over 100 million years, they are still vital to the ecosystem and humans. There are two categories that are assigned to bees. First category is the solitary bee, such as the mason bee or carpenter bee. These types of bees are abundant in areas such as the Mediterranean desert and the North American Southwest. They play an important part in pollination as many specialize in only pollinating certain types of flowers. Therefore, both the bee and the flower depend on each other to survive. The nests of solitary bees may be a few cells in a hollow tree or a hole in the bank. Even though females make their own nests, some will build their nests close to one another. These large groups are called aggregations. Social bees live together in a community. They have colony where there is a queen and large number of female bees called workers. At certain times of the year, the colony produces male drones for mating and producing new queens. Social bees include the honeybee, stingless bee, and the bumblebee. Honeybees are social insects that divide labor in the colony. The colonies have a queen, drones, and workers. The queen is the only sexually developed female in the hive and the largest bee in the colony. The drones are male bees with no stingers, and their sole purpose is to mate with the queen. They, they get kicked out often if the hives become overcrowded. The workers are the smallest in the colony and are as sexually undeveloped females. Life expectancy is around a month and feed the queen, the larva, guard hive entrances, and keep the hive cool by flapping their wings. They also collect nectar that is used to make honey. The habitats of stingless bees are in the subtropical and tropical areas. Many are prized for their honey. They nest in hollow tree trunks, beneath the ground in holes, rock crevices, and man-made objects. They do not sting, but instead bite with jaws or emit fluid that causes painful blisters. Their hives can grow up to 80,000. Pollen and honey are often kept in egg-shaped pits made from beeswax. Bumblebees are found all over the world, but they favor higher altitudes and latitudes. They are big, fuzzy, and are known for their buzzing sound. Their stinger doesn't contain barbs, so they can sting more than once. They feed on nectar and gather pollen to feed their young just like honeybees, and their nests are usually made underground or in dense grass. The nests are smaller compared to honeybees, and new nests are built each year. Unlike the honeybee, they cannot produce a honey surplus. Most products produced by bees come from honeybees. The first product is honey, a food source created by bees for themselves. It's used when other food sources are scarce or the weather is cold, and the honey is derived from nectar and flowers. The second product is pollen. It's taken from the anthers and flowers and is a main food source. The pollen is collected from different flowers, which mixes nutrients, and it becomes a vital food source for larvae and young adults. The third product is beeswax. It's a natural form of wax produced by apis bees. It's used to build the walls of the honeycomb cells and cap them off when they're filled with honey. Beeswax is used for candles, ingredients for skin products, and various waxes. The fourth product made is royal jelly. Royal jelly is a substance made by young worker bees used to feed larvae for a time and is used in the development of queen bees. The bee has many predators. Predators most likely to kill the bee in the wilderness include the bee-eater bird, the kingbird, the mockingbird, the bee-wolf wasp, and dragonflies. There are other more deadly predators if bees are harvested. One of the biggest threats is the Varroa parasite mite. The mite has been introduced all over the world. The one sure way of getting rid of them is to use chemical sprays, but care has to be taken so that the honey inside the hive is not contaminated. Any other method only minimizes the mites and doesn't get rid of them completely. Another predator includes the small hive beetle. This relatively new predator has been in the US only since the 1990s and originated in Africa. The larvae of the beetles dig through their comb of the hive and devour everything from bee larvae to the honey. Effective control hasn't really been created since the pest is recent and usually affects poorly maintained hives.
some very nice healthy grubs there, making a mess of the honeycomb.
The third destructive enemy is the bacterium American foulbrood. The bacteria affects worker bees that spread spores around the hive before they die. The bacteria is such a threat that according to the USDA, or the US Department of Agriculture, the only way to get rid of the American foulbrood is to burn the colony and tools suspected of infection. They have also stated that preventive measures such as chemical treatment are losing their effectiveness. With declining bee populations and infections of bee colonies getting worse, it isn't certain what may come of these insects as time goes on. Hopefully there will be a solution that can prevent any sort of ecological damage and any sort of danger to the human race. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you have enjoyed it. This is Stefan Leone, signing off.